All right, so in this video, we're going to be talking about this upcoming playoff matchup between the Knicks and the Sixers, and I'm going to give you my honest opinion or breakdown as to why the Knicks will win this series. So let's talk about it, man. First of all, welcome to the channel. I am the Objective Fan, straight out of Kings County, New York City's finest, and you know the vibes, y'all. Man, you rocking with the most poppin' YouTube channel on the net. And I'm here to give you a nice, simple breakdown as to what to expect going into the postseason. Now, there was a playing game last night, or I'm not sure when I'm dropping the video, it might come out Friday. So there was a playoff or play-in game on Wednesday. And the Philadelphia 76ers and the Miami Heat battled it out. I mean, to be honest, the game got better as it progressed. Earlier on, it was kind of weak. And I'm like, oh, man, I'm just licking my chops like, oh, my God, we're going to kill either one of these teams. I don't care who it is. And people wonder why Knicks fans are so confident, or at least why I'm so confident. I know there were some Knicks fans that wanted to avoid Philly because, hey, they scared of Joel Embiid. But you know what? I'm going to jump into research mode. Research mode activated. And so we was going to do a little series breakdown. Leading scorer technically is Joel Embiid. He was averaging about 35 right before he got hurt. But because he didn't play as many games as he needed to qualify for his points to actually be counted as a leader, they're going with Maxey with the 25.9. Tobias Harris, 6.5. He's their leading rebounder. Of course, Joel Embiid also led the team in rebounds. And he probably also led the team in assists. Of course, we got Jalen Brunson, our, superstar, big time. Shoot to Jalen Brunson. Did his thing. Definitely in the MVP discussion, and he should be some votes at least, right? And he definitely needs to be all NBA first team, like I said on the podcast. By the way, check out the podcast on Mondays directly here on the channel. But he definitely should be in that top of the race. So right now, Robert Covington is the only guy they're missing out on. And of course, we are missing out on our three-time All-Star, Julius Randle. But we'll be okay. And I know that's where people want to start and say, hey, well, you don't got your best player, so you guys are going to be in trouble. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that the way this team is matched up, alongside with the fact that you have unhealthy Joel Embiid still trying to get his groove back, still bent over, pause, and grabbing his knees because he's tired, I don't think they're about that life. There's no way he can come back, a couple of games before the playoffs begins and then now jump directly into a playoff battle against a team like the Knicks, who are amongst the most physical teams in the league, right? So here's the schedule. Game 1 on ESPN, that's Saturday the 20th. Game 2 would be on Monday the 22nd, right? And then I believe Thursday the 25th is game 3. And this game will be in Philly. Now, as you guys know, typically I do live play-by-plays. Let me double check right quick to see if any of these games is on MSG. Because if the games are on MSG, I mean, would you guys still want me to do a live play-by-play where I get my commentary? Right? Typically I do it so we won't have to listen to old media. But let me just pull up the Knicks schedule right quick in my Knicks app, and let's see. So it looks like all the games will take place on MSG, according to the Knicks app. So we'll keep it in the air. I don't want to ever compete with MSG because I feel like they do a great job. But we will also do live shows and tons of videos. We got the podcast on Monday. Maybe I do it live. I don't know. But we got plenty of opportunity to talk Knicks if the games are not going to be on, or if the games are going to be on MSG rather. So yeah, this is our breakdown. This is the schedule. Let's see what else I want to talk about. Now, I want to talk about the smack talk, because Paul Reed said that the team that he wanted was the Knicks because we are the soft touch, right? They're the easier team, rather, right? And then he says here, we ain't ducking no smoke, but yeah, we wanted the Knicks matchup, of course. And he said that on an appearance on Run It Back. I guess that's a show. And then he said, it's going to be fun. We pretty much match up well with them. They got a great guard. We got a great guard. We also got Joel Embiid, the MVP, which is a fact. And he's one of the most unstoppable guys in the league. Before injury, he was. With the injury, if you watch that Miami game, they did some things to really throw him off his square early in the game that I think the Knicks can continue to do, and actually can do a better job than Miami did. I'll get to that in a second. But this is some of the smash talk. I haven't really heard anyone else say anything right now. Of course, we are about that life. We're not ducking no smoke. That's why we chose the path that we chose. We chose to be in this matchup, knowing that we will get the Miami Heat or the Philadelphia 76ers. But we ain't cared about no Paul Reed, right? Now, a lot of people think that Philadelphia is going to beat us because they went on a nice little 8-game win streak. And to be honest, that is pretty impressive to close the season and try to go to the playoffs with a winning mentality, going into a tough playing game with Miami especially, right? But at the same time, we're going to pull up their schedule, right? So I'm going to show you why that's smoke and mirrors. First off, they beat the Nets. The Magic, I give them credit for that because the Magic was a team that was playing for position. So that's one good win. Pistons, Spurs, Grizzlies, those 3 wins, come on. Let's stop. Those teams are right now watching the playoffs. They were booking their vacation plans for the offseason back in January because they knew that they weren't going to be nowhere in April, right? Okay, cool. The Heat, I give them credit. That's a good win, right? Thunder, is the Thunder win a good win? This is why you got to subscribe to the Objective Fan. Speaking of subscribing, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that bell button, hit that like button. So definitely, let's put this game up against the Thunder. This is why it's not good to just box score watch. And I feel like this is what a lot of the old media guys do. They just box score watch. Let's pull up this OKC game, right? Look, I noticed that on the Philly side, they had Joel Embiid, right? Maxey didn't play this game. Okay, that's fine. They won the game, right? Let's go to the Oklahoma City Thunder side. Do you notice anything missing from this starting lineup? I'll give you a hint if you don't know. There was no SGA. SGA did not play this game. So the Thunder without SGA, we know that that team is not going to be good enough to beat Philadelphia 76ers team with Joel Embiid, even if he's hobbled, right? They have no answer for Joel Embiid. So that's why they won the game. And that game was a close game. So that's smoke and mirrors. So out of these 8 wins, and then of course they had the Raptors, right? Well, with our ex-Knicks on there, RJ Barrett and Manuel Quickly. So that's why they won the 8 games. The 8 games of smoke and mirrors versus if you really want to look at the Knicks, we'll pull up the Knicks. Look at our games, right? We won our last 5 games. The Bulls trying to make a playoff spot still could make a playoff spot with their win last night against Atlanta. Nets is a lowly team, but I said this game was going to be a tough game, which it was because the Nets hate our guts. Let's keep it funky. They're a rival. They don't like the fact that we're better than them, and they ruined the greatest chances of having the nice dynasty going forward. So forget the Nets, right? We beat a Celtics team. Enough said about that. They're the number 1 team in basketball. We beat the Bulls again. They were trying to compete for a spot, right? They're in the playoff hunt as we speak, right? When this video drops, they will be in the playoff hunt as well. And they have a chance to beat Miami because I'm hearing Jimmy Butler is not going to be there. And of course, we beat the Bucks. So we had 4 wins technically in this 4-game stretch here that, in my opinion, will trump what the Sixers were able to do in their last 8, right? And don't forget, we're just now getting OG back. So when you look at some of these losses like to the Thunder and the Spurs and things of that nature, we weren't all the way there. It's either OG just came back or he wasn't there. So our Knicks is playing better basketball or higher level of basketball, if you ask me. Right? Now, don't forget this, too. Let's go back to the matchups. So when we get to the 76ers, Knicks, let's go here. This is why I like research more. I put it all on the screen so we can see. So it's no capping, no fronting, right? So right here on ESPN, if you go to here, you're able to see the regular season series. Let's look at the series, right? I mean, we blew them out for the first time. And this is when they had Joel Embiid, right? We also blew them out when they didn't have Joel Embiid. So we blew them out with Embiid and without Embiid, right? And then also, I mean, they beat us in a close game. It was crazy. We only scored 73 points. But let's pull this box score up. This is why you can't just go by, oh yeah, they won this game, they won this game, they won that game. Let's see who actually played in this game. The game that we actually lost to the Sixers, right? There was no OG there. I think who else missed this game? And no Hartenstein. Not to mention Randall, who's been out all that time. So, yeah, this is one of those games where we already beat them twice. Philadelphia, they don't want to get swept by us. So they knew the importance of that game. And then, of course, the last game, right, we blew them out. And let's pull up who played this game. Now, of course, no Joel Embiid, but they did have Maxey, and they had the team that they had without Joel Embiid. We beat them. So we beat them. We blew them out with Embiid. We blew them out without Embiid. That has to matter for something. Now, I'm not saying just because you win a regular season series, that means you're going to win the playoff series. It's the manner in which we beat them. We have the bigs that can guard Embiid one-on-one. Not that they're going to stop him. I'm not crazy. Relax. We have the big guys to match. We got at least 18 fouls a game on Embiid. He's already hobbled. How's he going to handle the physicality when we really take it up a notch in the playoff? You already know how that playoff physicality is going to be. And I honestly think that the matchups favor us. So I'm going to pull up this Heat game, right? Which they should have lost the game, but the reason why they were able to win, because they was able to shoot themselves out of the zone. The Knicks is not playing the zone defense. We guarding you head up, man to man, right? So this is going to be the starting lineup now. The Mountain kid, they might put him in there because he's game time decision. So they might take Lowry out the starting lineup and bring him off the bench. Now, yes, Lowry is a Knick killer. He loves to go at us, right? He was also very integral last year in the Miami Heat's efforts to beat us in the playoffs. So I can't ignore that. But I'm not concerned about Kyle Lowry. He's a step slower and a year older. And we got that smoke for him. Maxi's a really talented young player. But we got plenty of wing guys, wing options that we're going to throw at him. From Deuce to Dante to even Hart. He's going to have some solid defenders on him, and there's no reason to double team Maxey. So get him out the window. Melton's a shooter. He's a defender. More than likely, he'll be the guy to get the Brunson assignment. Or they like this kid, Obi Jr., because he had the one game where Brunson didn't shoot well, but Brunson still did his thing in that losing effort. That was the game when we scored 73 points. But besides that, Brunson torches anybody who they think can guard him. I mean, even they put Batum, who actually did have a good game that last game, but Batum's been coming off the bench recently. So this is going to be their lineup. Tobias Harris is food. I'm not concerned about Tobias Harris. He's definitely food. He definitely showed last night. He redeemed himself in the second half, but he had 0 points in the first half, was looking really shaky. Though he did give a solid output on the glass. He's going to have to rebound. Why? Because the Sixers have a small team. They like to say the Knicks have a small team. The Sixers are smaller than the Knicks. The Sixers only have 1 7-footer in their rotation. We have 2. So off the rip, just looking at that, you know the size is going to be an issue. Tobias Harris, I think he's 6'9". Let's pull it up. Yeah, he's 6'8". Okay, so OG, Tobias, they match up. Or Hart, Tobias, because Hart can guard guys around 6'8". That's what he does. So Hart, and then Dante. I honestly believe the matchups favors us because, one, we're not going to double team. We're going to help. Of course, we'll send help, but we're not going to double. And it's not going to be a hard double, right? We're going to try to keep Embiid on the perimeter, though he did hit some big shots down the stretch of that game. I could live with Joel Embiid taking a lot more shots than just pounding it on the ball in the paint, trying to get some buckets, right? So we're going to guard him one-on-one, meaning that there's not going to be no open shooters, no Buddy Hield. None of these guys are going to get no daylight. And we got a good rotation. So that Miami Heat zone was solid in the first half, but once you start hitting shots, you can't zone up in the professional level. So, yeah, we're not going to zone nothing. We're going to play them head up, okay? As far as the bench is concerned, I think the Sixers bench is weak. Even if you put Lowry, or weaker than the Knicks bench, yeah, you put Lowry off the bench. That makes their bench a lot more competitive. But the Knicks, we're probably only going to play 3 guys. Bojan can outscore anybody on their bench, right? He's a 20-point-per-game scorer coming off the bench, right? We got Mitch, the blockless monster. He's the best player on either benches, right? You taking Batum? You taking Paul Reed over Mitchell Robinson? No, you're not, right? And then Deuce McBride, he's a young, talented guard. He's going to get the opportunity to do his thing. He's never been on this level, so I'm not really concerned. That's all. I don't want to make this video too long. I could go and I could talk for hours. I could literally sit here for 2 hours breaking this down. But I just wanted to show you why I think we're going to beat the Sixers. I said 5 games, or I made an allusion to 5 games on the podcast. Realistically, I'm going to lean more to 6 because they do have Joel Embiid, and I'm going to respect him. He's a great player, MVP candidate before the injury. But I think that the Knicks are just going to be too much for him. So with that being said, until next time, let's go Knicks!